the Love You
podcast, where we are here to do what now?
Give you all the ease.
So our job is to equip, to educate, and to empower the body of Christ so that we can do what, sis?
Live the abundant life.
Yes. So,
random topic, but it'll get us into it, like your vagus nerve and how your vagus nerve, I think it's the longest nerve in the body, so it goes from here down into your gut. And so when people, like when you're anxious or you kind of have the butterflies in your tummy, it comes from that nerve. And so we've had some
plenty of that today.
Yeah. And so I'm sitting here going, okay, all right.
Yeah.
And with that said, vagus nerve to your belly. It's a potty over here.
Welcome to the potty.
We're talking about gut health today.
Yes.
All the cheese, all of it.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
All of it. All right, kiddo.
Yeah.
Tell us about the gastrointestinal system.
Yeah.
GI tract.
Yeah. And I guess the biggest part, we start off with is what we'll focus on is the colon.
Yes.
Right? So the large intestine. Also another important organ that has a lot of things to do. And so I know we all know that it's used to, how can I put it? Store the stool and the feces, the waste that our body makes. Okay, yeah, there you go, excrement. That's nice. But it also,
word.
Right. It also is important for absorbing water. Okay, and having an electrolytes and water absorption. It produces and absorbs vitamins. It's important for B vitamins and extra vitamin K.
And just fun fact for B vitamins, since a lot of you guys get B vitamin shots, that's like energy and also helps aids in weight loss.
Yeah, right.
So you want to absorb this.
Yes. So B vitamins are great. B vitamins is where to be. All right. Ooh.
Oh,
okay. Pew, pew, pew. Ooh, girl. Right. Oh, you like that, didn't you? And so another important part that the colon does. All right, for you.
Yes.
All right. So another important part that the colon does, right?
Yes.
And so gut flora. So the good bacteria, because people may not realize this, but
all bacteria is not bad.
Right, all bacteria is not bad, and particularly in your colon, because another important part of the colon is that a lot of our immunity comes from, and I didn't realize this with doing some of the research. It actually said that one of the articles mentioned that 70% of the immune system is in our gut, right? So it's really important to have.
Absorbing what you eat, then your blood, like you can't circulate that out.
Yeah. So the colon kind of serves as a barrier, a protective barrier. So that's why it's important to take care of that there colon.
What you put in.
Yes, and how it comes out. It's very important. It's very important, right? And so there's a lot of common conditions that actually will impact the colon, right? So you have conditions like, you've probably heard the term IBS. Yes. So irritable bowel syndrome, right? And so that typically comes with having like constipation or diarrhea. Like if you're anxious, your body will respond in different types of ways. It's so funny how all things just loop together, right?
Legitimate.
And so you'll see that, and then also inflammatory bowel disease. So that's like IBD. Okay, and so that's more of an autoimmune type. So that's your ulcerative colitis. That is your Crohn's disease. Crohn's disease impacts your entire, from like up here down all the way through your entire GI tract. And ulcerative colitis typically is in the large colon. Okay, so that's another condition. Diverticulosis is a condition in which your colon will have these little pouches. It just for some reason that the wall will get weak and it'll make and form these little pouches.
Don't they kind of look like I think they look like sponge, like the little.
So it's so on the wall of the colon, it's like a little pinhole. But on the other side of it is an opening, like it's open, like a little pouch that's there. And so that's diverticulosis. Okay. But when people end up in the hospital or have problems, it's when it becomes diverticulitis, where there's inflammation. Right, inflammation, and so it causes pain and discomfort. So that's another condition that's common for a lot of the colon stuff. And then colitis. Oh, what?
Don't look scared.
I don't know.
Don't look scared. I feel awake.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, friend. I'm ready.
So anytime you see dealing with muscles and tendons and ligaments, anytime you see itis, we say that's inflammation. So when you have tendinitis, when you have bursitis. Yeah. Interesting. Like we always like, you got the itis. Girl, you ain't got no itis. You're not irritated. You sleepy.
So itis is not good. I don't care what you put on. It is not good. It is not good. It is not good. And so I got you, friend. Okay. All right. Okay. And then so that's that. And then and so the big I guess lead to is that these conditions can predispose you to having colon cancer, right? And so colon cancer is, little growths that are in your colon that can turn into cancerous growths and end up causing some major
So tell us
issues.
about polyps.
Yeah. So they're like little, I wish I had a little diagram, but like little growths, small little growths that are like little, what's the word I'm looking for? I'll just stick with little growths that will grow. It can be in your stomach. They can be in your small intestines, your large intestines. And a lot of times they can be benign, meaning they're not troublesome, but then they can turn into something that can be precancerous and then turn into cancer. And that's when it ends up being an issue. And so having a lot of where the inflammation or your body, you're constipated and keeping all those toxins in your body, all those things will kind of predispose you to having polyps. And they can sit there and if they sit there, you don't check them out, they can cause problems for you. Right.
Right.
So, and that leads us to, just some stats. So colon cancer is the second leading cause of cancer death in the United States. And more so, it's the third most commonly diagnosed cancer in African American men and women, who are 20% more likely to get the condition, right? And so even once that, 40% more chance of dying from the condition.
And why is that?
Yeah.
I mean, we know why it is.
Right. And it is, so we don't get there, but it's there because a lot of times we don't pay attention to the symptoms that our bodies give us, and they're not getting screened, we're not getting checked, and so we don't know what's going on on the inside, right?
I said it's that B, not wanting to go.
Yeah, not wanting. And I tell you, and I have the conversation with patients a lot of times, and it's just so interesting. People's perspective about it, right? So I'll tell them, about the screenings and all that. I ain't gonna go looking, because y'all go looking, y'all gonna find it. And I'm like, wow, that whole statement is wrong on so many levels. And they don't want to go to the doctor or get screenings as if the provider put it there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not to disagree with you there. Because I recognize, historically speaking, it's not like for black and brown populations specifically.
Well, it's the fear, right. It's different fear. It's different kind of fear.
It's legitimate because of how we have been handled.
Right. Okay, I can give that. Yeah. Absolutely. So I know that's that's definitely a part of it too. But even beyond that, it's like I want to go looking for trouble, but I don't see it. It's not there, and that is not true. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you still got to screen and know what's going on with your body. But that's definitely a very important part and a point to make.
And I think I think that's part of. I feel like part of what we are trying to do here is at least equip you with the information so that when you walk into the facility, you don't feel like you are. A, alone or B, unequipped, and that people will kind of just talk or walk over you. You do have some information.
Some type of understanding.
And then maybe you'll be more apt to go.
Yes. Yeah. And some people it's just fear. It's fear, and just being scared. It's like, but my thing is you want to catch it, first of all, prevent it.
Yes.
But then if you can't prevent it, you want to catch it early, but there are some barriers to getting there, and these are some of the barriers that goes along with that. So the next phase would be like symptoms, right? Okay.
Run us.
So sometimes early in stages, it can be asymptomatic, meaning you don't feel it, you don't know that it's happening, don't have any idea about it, right? Okay. Right. But then it moves into, okay, once it starts advancing, you know, a lot of times you'll see blood in your stool. So yes, people, that means you gotta, I know it's not the most glorious thing you want to do, but it's something that's necessary. You gotta look back at it. You just gotta look back at it.
I used to feel like it was trauma because my mama made me do it when I was little, and I still, as an adult, do it now. But that was I will give her about 46.95 points for that. That was good that she made me. That she was checking my stool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that she made me. Do it.
It's a part of who you are. Yeah, that's a good habit to have.
All the time, looking back.
It's a good habit to have. Or when you wipe, you know, you see blood. Yeah, blood should not be there, and don't just blow it off as if, I probably got hemorrhoids, you know, or something simple like that. It doesn't matter. It's blood, and you shouldn't see it. Right. You know, when you go to the potty. Okay, it's not that kind of potty. Okay, right. You like that? Ooh. Okay. So blood in your stool. Mucus in your stool, change in your bowel habit, your pattern. So if you're somebody who typically you will go regularly, you know, I go once a day or I go every other day, you know, whatever your regular pattern is, and that changes. You know, I had one patient, I don't know how she did it, but she went almost 3 weeks without going to the bathroom, and that was new for her, and she was in the hospital. I remember, it was new, right? And so she went 3 weeks, and it ended up because she had colon cancer.
Really?
Right? She did. But that was a change. That was a major change for her. And so changing your bowel habits, whether it's going to you're constipated or you're experiencing diarrhea, if you have unexplained weight loss. You know, again,
all the time, just because
all weight loss is not good weight loss. Yeah, we're not losing the 10 pounds like that. Yeah. So unexplained weight loss is another big thing. Okay, so those are the top things to kind of be mindful of. Or here's another thing when you got to look at it: the shape of your stool. If it's narrow, you know, because it should be, you know, kind of full and fluffy. I know y'all don't probably like those words, description, but that's how it should be. But if it's narrow, that means
it gives a whole different context to biscuits, doesn't it? Full and fluffy. You're welcome.
There you go. So if your stool changes,
you want to laugh? Don't trip.
And it's narrow. If your stool becomes narrow, so that means that space in your colon, something has shrunk. It don't have the, you know what I'm saying? So now your stool is narrow, it's passing through something that wasn't there before. Right, something is in the way. So that's just some things to kind of be mindful of.
It's like being on 285. Okay.
Or that. Okay. Whew, we gonna roll today. I tell you.
It's the yellow shirt.
I think that's what it's, the yellow. Yeah, sunshine. So, and then the last part for me is just knowing your risk factors. Okay,
right.
Huge thing. And again, our theme is going to keep coming up. If you're somebody who is inactive or have a diet high in fats and processed foods, you know, not exercising, a low fiber diet, you know, tobacco use,
drinking enough water,
right? Tobacco use, alcohol use, and knowing. And I'm always a very big proponent of this and encourage people: know your family history. We do not talk. Yes, we have got to talk.
It can't be that we don't tell people that. You have to have a conversation.
You have to have dialogue. Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, I can give my own little personal testimony about the IBD part. So ulcerative colitis, I was diagnosed with that. I went misdiagnosed for a very long time. Mm-hmm. Very long time. And here's my little nugget on that, people. When you have an issue like with GI stuff, go see an actual gastroenterologist, somebody who specializes in, and I'm not, you know, saying anything about general surgeons or anybody like that, because I was misdiagnosed for a long time, and I probably could have. I thought I was going crazy. I was like, do I have lupus? Because even with ulcerative colitis being autoimmune, you have aches. Your body is doing. And I was like,
attacking it.
I'm telling you, my mind. I was like, do I have cancer they hadn't found? Like something. And I went years. having colonoscopies, going through these, oh, you just got internal hemorrhoids, you got this, like whatever. And that's what, right? And so, and thank goodness.
Would they ever be with it?
Listen, and I'm so glad that my old boss that I worked for sent me to a cohort of his, and he did my colonoscopy. He's like, hey, I'm not liking how this is looking. And he sent me to a specialist, and he said, Miss Burnett, you've had this. Jeez. So I've been misdiagnosed for probably 20 years. Like, I kid you not, like long time. Because I'm going to tell you this too. I'm going to just go ahead and be transparent. I had my first polyp at age 15. Right, I did. So at age 15, so, and I know everybody knows about the story, very heartbreaking, still moves my heart, with Chadwick Boseman. Yeah. He was in his late 30s when he found out that he had, I think, stage 3 colon cancer, and he died in his early 40s from it, But I mean, to go back, I was 15. Yeah. And the scary part is I was having symptoms. I won't go into all the details, but I was having symptoms years before I even told my parents. Yeah. About what was going on with my body.
That's grace. Let's just
listen. Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. And so, but I went through that and just I felt like, so I like, where's House when you need him? Because they misdiagnosed me like, what is wrong? I'm serious. Dr. House. Because I felt crazy. You know what I'm saying? And my whole life, in that one visit, oh hush. So in that one visit, it changed my whole life made sense. Yeah. Whole life made sense. And, starting therapy, I'm behind the 8 ball, but thank God, even my most colonoscopy that I had recently, no active disease, thank God, everything's under control. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so just knowing your body and I didn't know until, a couple years ago that ulcerative colitis is in my family. I was like, how did I draw the short straw? Nobody in my family has this. That's not true, right? That's not true. And so it's in our family. Yeah, you have to talk. So do the digging, and ask questions with family. And y'all, please, older people, whoever, talk to your younger people and let them know so they can fight this fight and have the right tools they need to fight the fight. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Knowledge is power. I know it's not cliche, but knowledge is power. Like, seriously.
Sand and sticks. So
yeah.
So a gunfight with a stick.
Right. So sorry, I kind of went off into that little spiel, but it's just, I'm literally a living testimony. Right. Like a living testimony on that and knowing your body. And just, so I tell my kids, hey, mama has experienced this. This is what you need to know for yourself so that you'll know how to take care of yourself and what to look out for yourself in the future. Yes. So it's important. It's important. All right. It's important.
It is.
Yeah. So we got high five.
We do. Well, I think with this one, if I remember, it's usually give me 5. But the interesting thing about the colorectal section is we're going to hit it with 3 instead. Okay. So the big thing with colorectal health first is the same thing that's big everywhere else: nutrition. It's funny how you can't get away from it.
Can't get away from
keep
it.
Going. You gotta eat properly.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times I have people. I guess we have testimonies today. Testimonies, baby.
Come on, sister, testify.
But I spent the bulk of my 20s, like 15, like 200 or better, and I got up to 250. Mm-hmm. And so where I'm going with that is the way that you handle food matters. Yeah, it literally, there's no place, and God has been gracious to me. Like, I didn't have no high blood pressure, no diabetes, no any of these things. And I was hanging out. I would eat sugar like it was like
really.
Yeah. When my husband came in the kitchen, I was eating some icing out of a jar, and that man said, "What are you doing?"
Wow.
And I was like, "I mean, icing. What you doing?" Because when legit, because what sugar does to the brain, happy dopamine situation. So
fake.
It's very fake. Yeah. But it would calm me down. I'm like, right?
Sugar, it feels good.
Yeah, it makes me happy.
Made her happy.
Past tense, yes, because we don't do the things anymore. Yeah. Not like that. But nutrition matters. Mm-hmm. So the big function piece for nutrition and colorectal health is fiber. Say it one more time. Say it with your chest. Fiber. Eat some fiber.
Fiber of your being. Fiber.
And so fiber comes two ways, soluble and insoluble. So one is going to add bulk to your stool, and then the other one is going to help lubricate, like help push the things out. And so you need 25 to 35 grams of fiber daily for good health. Most Americans only get 15. Fiber lowers your risk of developing heart disease, diabetes, diverticulitis, and constipation, just to name a few. We've spoken about the majority of those things, right? You want to be attentive to how much fried, barbecued, and broiled meat you ingest. And I usually get that look. Like, I remember the guy at church was like, I don't know, damn it, I don't know. All right. But here is why.
Yeah.
Because when meat is processed or cooked in that manner or at high temperatures, a cancer-causing agent called heterocyclic amines. That don't even matter to you. You just need to know it's bad.
It can cause cancer.
Right.
That's it. Yeah.
It's a carcinogen. It ain't good.
Yeah.
But it creates that in the meat, and so then you consume it. Okay. You want to, and I know for a little while we had the two big catchphrases. You want your probiotics and your prebiotics. Yeah. Legitimately. So prebiotics stimulate growth of healthy bacteria in your colon. You want that. Prebiotics are potentially protective against colon cancer and other diseases. Okay? So you want to eat a diet that's high in fiber and prebiotics. Some populations should be attentive to prebiotics, and so those are people that have IBS and things of that nature, because it can exacerbate the symptoms. Fiber examples include fruit, again, with the skin. Do you know you can eat the whole watermelon? Legitimately. Like, you can eat the...
She told me about kiwi. I just couldn't believe it by eating kiwi.
Everything.
Who eats the skin on kiwi? I'm still working through that, y'all. I'm still processing. I still get an itchy lips. Working on it.
You can take the all of the flesh inside, right? And then just one simple way to use the whole is you can legit juice it, and it's full of lycopene and fiber. You want both of those, okay? Leafy green veggies, seeds, nuts, complex carbs like oatmeal, brown rice, and quinoa. And if you kind of pay attention to that list, that takes us again into the grocery store. And where are we living?
The perimeter.
On the perimeter.
Outside.
We're not all up in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, and guess what? Drink water. Water is a digestive aid and can help decrease constipation. And we talked, I don't remember, it wasn't this episode, it was another one, about adding things to your water.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so you can add lime, which is full of minerals, mint leaves, which can ease stomach discomforts. Ginger for my people, is good for aiding in nausea. Those things, though they are also medicinal, they'll help the water not taste as bland, which again goes back. I don't know why we disliking something that we are primarily made up of, but do things. All right. Again, you want to be intentional with your movement. Okay. Higher levels of physical activity are associated with a decrease in overall cancer risk, specifically colon and breast cancers. Exercise improves circulation, which shortens the bowel transit time. Say that with me, bowel transit time. All right, because circulation helps push things out. Which this thing, since we're discussing we're eating that meat, right? The bowel transit time being expedited will help reduce your exposure to carcinogens. Right. It'll help hurry up and get it out. Reduce stress. We've talked about that before. Stretching and intentional breathing. And so we're going to do a really quick stretch. It's one of my favorites. It's just a twist, okay? And the twisting, so one of the things I really love about yoga and stretching are like the postures have purpose.
Okay, I like it. Okay. I got you.
So rotary motions, because your body was not just created to walk like this. You were created to move in multiple planes, like all over. But twisting or rotation helps ring the intestines. So when we ring something, what happens? Stuff comes out, right?
Yeah.
All right, bet. So Erica's going to come to the edge of her seat, and she's going to kind of move her microphone out of the way. Her feet are going to plant, and you can do this anywhere. So I don't believe in excuses for not being able to move, because you can legit move anywhere.
Yeah.
So she's going to sit up nice and tall. She'll take a deep breath in and lift her arms straight up. Inhale. As she exhales, she's going to rotate her body towards the right, and that left hand is going to come to her knee and the right hand behind. Ooh. While she's there, she's going to inhale, let her chest, sternum up, and then exhale, draw your navel to your spine, and that rotation will increase, right? So your intestines are here, and they're being twisted. Yeah. They're being wrung. Inhale, uncurl, reach the fingertips up. Exhale, rotate to your left, right hand, left knee, left hand behind. And while you're there, inhale, chest up. Exhale, navel to spine, rotate. Good. And then inhale, come on back to the center. Super quick way that if you were experiencing you get a couple things out of that. You get some stress reduction. Yes. And then if you are experiencing some sort of constipation, it will help with that. Okay. Practice deep squats. Get a squatty potty. The way our toilets are set up, that they're not optimal for excretion.
Right.
Your knees should be above your hips.
Yeah. I have the, what do you call it? I have the little
squatty potty.
That's what it is.
Yeah, squatty potty.
Put your feet up. Yeah.
Because you want your knees above your hips.
Yeah.
Okay. In most countries that are not America or European countries, that is how people sit just in life. And so your hips are supposed to have that type of mobility. But that's a whole other episode. But it will help your intestinal system.
Yeah.
And that's it. Because this one just has 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's
so it really is the way you move, the way you eat, and the way you hydrate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Move, eat, hydrate.
Yeah. All that. Yeah.
Because again, wellness is
worship.
Is worship.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so you gotta take care of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that you can be here.
Yeah.
Like I might need you one day. I don't know. Yeah. And I don't even know who you are. But you gotta be here so I can meet you. See how that works?
So let me hold up my stuff. Yeah, I need you.
Yeah,
so
the legit. Like right? You should be in the middle of holding up one of my blessings.
Right, yeah. So get your whole self together. Yes. Okay. Get that water and that fiber. Woo! I love it. I love it. I love it. I mean, just that sort of quick recap. Colon is and knowing your family history, yes, knowing the symptoms, and what are they? What are you gonna see?
Mucus in your stool
or blood.
Mucus or blood in the stool. Thin stool because there's some sort of obstruction or constipation and nothing can come out.
Right. Or diarrhea. If it changes, your bowel habits change.
Abruptly.
And then, abruptly. Like it's just completely different from what you had before.
Yes.
And then just family members. Y'all don't be holding these secrets. History. Yes, talk to one another so you can equip your family to do what they need to do and be able to protect themselves. And just function.
Some practical tips.
Well, I already said it. Yeah, so hydrate.
Doing the recap.
I got it. So we're gonna hydrate. The bigger thing is gonna be hydrating, making sure you have a diet high in fiber, like 25 to 35 grams of fiber per day.
Yes.
And making sure that you're moving and that you're exercising. So that moving here can help things move here, right? So I think that's the main practical tips, isn't it?
It is.
Okay.
No, because I love you.
Yeah, and I love you.
And we love you.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
See you next time.
All right.
Like, subscribe,
subscribe,
and share.
Yeah.
Share. Sharing is caring.
Yeah.
Legit.
Even if you don't share it here, when you're talking to your family and your friends, just tell them, hey, I heard these girls on the couch talking about, and let them know.
Y'all and the other one's named Erica.
Yes.
And they struggle with telling us that, but here we are again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and just spread the little nuggets on so that we can be and live that abundant life.
That's it.
Yes. All right. Love you guys. All right.